The studio lights burned bright in a way that always made the air feel warmer than it really was, a controlled heat designed to keep the energy alive, and the cameras forgiving. This was the heated clash took place live at the View show between Taylor Swift and Joy Behar. The set shimmered with polished glass tables, soft blues and golds reflecting across the stage, while a live audience filled every seat, murmuring with anticipation. This was supposed to be a calm, celebratory segment. Music, conversation, laughter, and mutual respect. But live television has a way of quietly rearranging expectations. Taylor Swift sat poised in her chair, posture relaxed yet attentive, hands folded neatly, a practiced calm in her expression that came from years of performing under pressure. Across from her, Joy Behar leaned comfortably back, cue cards resting on her lap, eyes sharp with curiosity and humor, the confidence of someone who had hosted thousands of conversations without missing a beat. The opening moments flowed smoothly. Applause rolled in waves as Taylor was introduced, cheers echoing off the studio walls. Cameras swept from the audience to the panel, catching smiles, nods, and the subtle signals exchanged between producers behind the scenes. Taylor spoke warmly about creativity, storytelling, and the joy of connecting with fans. Her words were thoughtful, measured, and sincere, earning approving murmurs from the crowd. Joy listened with an amused half-smile, occasionally tilting her head, ready to jump in with a quip or a probing question. It all felt safe, familiar, and controlled, exactly how producers like it. Then came the pause, the kind that lasts only a second but stretches longer in the mind. Joy interjected with a comment meant to be light, almost playful, referencing the pressure of public expectations and how artists navigate constant attention. The wording was harmless on paper, but the rhythm landed oddly in the air. Taylor blinked once, then twice, her smile tightening just a fraction. The camera caught it immediately, zooming in before she could smooth it away. In the audience, a few people shifted in their seats, sensing the tiniest shift in temperature. Taylor responded politely at first, her tone even, her words careful. She clarified her perspective, emphasizing balance, boundaries, and gratitude. Joy nodded, but followed up quickly, her timing slightly off, overlapping the end of Taylor's sentence. It wasn't rude, just rushed. Yet in live television, timing is everything. The overlap created a ripple, a soft interruption that landed heavier than intended. Taylor paused mid-thought, lips parting, then closing again. The director signaled for a wide shot, but the tension had already slipped through the cracks. Audience members exchanged glances. A producer leaned forward, headset pressed tighter against their ear. The host table suddenly felt closer, the space between chairs shrinking under invisible pressure. Taylor straightened, drawing a breath that was audible to the front row. When she spoke again, there was a new firmness beneath the calm. Not anger, not accusation, just clarity sharpened by emotion. She explained how moments like these, even small ones, remind her how carefully words travel when millions are listening. Joy raised her eyebrows, surprised more than defensive. She laughed lightly, attempting to diffuse the moment, but the laughter echoed a beat too long. Another pause, the kind that makes a studio collectively hold its breath. Cameras cut to the audience, catching widened eyes, hands hovering near mouths, the unmistakable thrill of witnessing something unscripted. Taylor maintained eye contact now, her expression open but resolute, as if deciding whether to let the moment pass or give it the honesty it demanded. She chose honesty. Calmly, respectfully, Taylor addressed Joy directly, not as an adversary, but as a fellow communicator. She spoke about intention versus impact, about how conversations on live television can shape narratives in ways no one anticipates. Her voice never rose, but the weight of her words filled the room. The audience grew silent, the applause signs forgotten, every ear tuned to the exchange. Joy listened, truly listened, her posture shifting forward, cue cards forgotten. For a moment, it felt like the entire show balanced on a thin wire. Then Joy responded, slower this time, her tone sincere. She acknowledged the point, admitting that live dialogue sometimes moves faster than reflection. She smiled, not the performative kind, but a genuine one, and thanked Taylor for speaking up. The tension softened, not disappearing, but transforming, like a storm cloud breaking into rain instead of lightning. The audience erupted into applause, not explosive, but steady, appreciative. Crew members exhaled, shoulders dropping. The director nodded, signaling the host to continue. Taylor relaxed back into her chair, a small, relieved smile returning. Joy reached out briefly, a friendly gesture across the table, and the cameras captured it all. The resolution, the humanity, the shared understanding that live television, at its best, reveals real moments of connection. As the segment moved on, the energy in the studio shifted again, warmer now, charged with the satisfaction of having witnessed something authentic yet respectful. No insults had been traded, no lines crossed beyond repair. Instead, the moment became a reminder of why audiences tune in live, for the unpredictability, the honesty, and the rare clarity that can emerge when people choose to listen. The lights dimmed slightly as the show headed into a break, but the buzz lingered, a quiet realization that what had just unfolded would be talked about long after the cameras stopped rolling. The applause faded slowly, like a wave retreating from shore, but the energy it left behind hummed through the studio. The cameras stayed close, lenses gliding gently across the set as if aware that something fragile and important was unfolding. Taylor Swift adjusted her posture, shoulders easing, yet her eyes remained focused, present. Across from her, Joy Behar let out a soft breath she hadn't realized she was holding, her expression thoughtful rather than performative. This was no longer just a segment. It had become a shared moment of awareness. Joy spoke first, her voice quieter than before, paced with intention. She clarified her earlier remark, explaining the context she had meant to convey, emphasizing that curiosity, not judgment, had guided her words. As she spoke, the camera cut briefly to the audience, capturing nods, softened expressions, and the subtle relief that comes when tension begins to untangle. Taylor listened closely, hands resting calmly in her lap, her face open, receptive, and attentive. There was no rush now. Live television had slowed itself down. Taylor responded with equal care. She acknowledged Joy's explanation, expressing appreciation for the clarification. Her words carried warmth, underscored by sincerity, and the room seemed to lean in with her. She spoke about communication, how even well-meaning conversations can miss their mark, especially under bright lights and time constraints. Her tone remained gentle, reflective, never accusatory. Each sentence landed with purpose, drawing quiet murmurs of agreement from the audience. A brief miscue followed, an unexpected laugh track that started too early, then cut off. The crew froze for a split second before correcting it, but instead of breaking the moment, it humanized it further. Joy chuckled softly at the mishap, glancing toward the control room with a knowing smile. Taylor smiled too, the shared laugh easing any remaining stiffness. The tension that once threatened to spike now dissolved into something lighter, more grounded. Joy leaned forward, elbows resting near the table, and spoke candidly about the nature of live dialogue, how speed sometimes outruns sensitivity. She admitted that moments like this serve as reminders, not reprimands. The audience responded with warm applause, appreciative of the honesty. Taylor nodded, visibly moved, and thanked Joy for the openness. The exchange felt less like a confrontation now, and more like a conversation unfolding in real time, guided by mutual respect. The director signaled for a wider shot, capturing both women framed together beneath the studio lights. The background screens glowed softly, reflecting calm blues and golds that matched the shifted mood. A producer wiped their brow off camera, tension finally released. The host beside Joy smiled, sensing the arc of the moment turning toward resolution rather than rupture. Taylor shared a final thought, one that resonated deeply. She spoke about growth, how public platforms can amplify not only voices, but understanding when handled with care. Her words were measured, heartfelt, and steady. The audience rose into applause again, this time fuller, more confident, as if collectively acknowledging the value of what they had just witnessed. Joy closed the segment with grace, thanking Taylor for her honesty and presence. She emphasized the importance of dialogue that listens as much as it speaks. As the show transitioned toward its next segment, the camera lingered for a moment longer than usual, capturing a brief exchange of smiles between the two, a quiet signal that the moment had found its balance. The studio lights dimmed slightly as music swelled, and the audience settled back into their seats, buzzing with conversation. What began as a flicker of misunderstanding had transformed into something meaningful and complete. No damage done, no lines crossed, just a live, unscripted reminder that even at the peak of tension, clarity and respect can still take center stage.